Well, good evening everyone and welcome to the second edition of the final leg. We are again here in the lovely Hotel Zuiderduin in Egmond aan Zee. And we are here with my guests Nick Rolls and Richard Ashdown. And we have a lot of action to cover because the second day of action had a lot of competitions. Nick, yesterday we left it at the quarterfinal stage of the women's team event. What happened today?
Yeah, it was... to be honest, I think the quarterfinals probably went as we expected them to. The semi-finals, England saw off Germany 9-4, so they've made it through to the final. I think the big talking point was the second semi-final, Wales and the Netherlands. Seesaw battle went all the way. It was 8-all. Aileen de Graaf, Rhiannon Edwards. They bulled up. It was Aileen de Graaf that won the leg, and so therefore it's the Netherlands against England in the team event final.
Two of the big favourites, England obviously being the big favourite for that final. So no real surprises there. How about the ladies' pairs event, because that was played today as well?
Yes, in the team event, in the pairs event, yes, you're right. There were some cracking games in the second round. Trina Gulliver and Fallon Sherrock fell 4-0 to the Rhianns from Wales, Rhiannon Griffiths and Rhiannon Edwards. And in fact, those two ladies have made it through to the final as well. They were 3-0 down in their quarterfinal game against Sweden, came back to win that 4-3. They then beat one of the two German pairs. Both German pairs made the semi-final as well. They got to the final, Rhiannon and Rhiannon got to the final. The other German pair, Anna Wilkum and her partner, they lost out to Dieter Hebben and Lorraine Winstanley. So our final in the ladies' pairs is Rhiannon Edwards, Rhiannon Griffiths, Dieter Hebben and Lorraine Winstanley.
So again, the usual suspects, England and Wales in the final.
Eventually they got there, yes.
Yeah, exactly. We also had the men's single event, and Richard, you kept track for us on that event. Again, usual suspects in the final?
No, completely different story. I haven't got long enough to mention the amount of shocks we had today. With the news just kept flooding in hour after hour. The BDO World #1, England's Glenn Durrant, crashed out early doors to Stephen Lennon from Ireland. We thought that was a bit of a shock. Then a bigger shock in the next round for Lennon. He lost out to a player from Cyprus.
What was his name?
I have no idea.
We'll find it for you.
You're the names man.
Yeah, we'll find it for you.
I've struggled to keep up with the countries. In the last 16, there were 14 different nations.
Wow.
8 different nations in the quarterfinals. The list goes on with the shocks. The last remaining Englishman in the last 32 lost out to a Serbian player, which meant no Englishmen in the last 16. Same thing happened in last year's World Cup in Turkey. No English player in the singles of the last 16.
So the dominance of the English players is not there anymore.
Absolutely. England walked away in the end with, medals and of course cups. They're the reigning champions here, but it's not as easy for them as it used to be. It's going to be really interesting in the men's pairs tomorrow because of that fact. England really have to get to work now. Other results, Wesley Harms, former World Cup singles champion, crashes out to a Danish player. A Swedish player reached the semi-finals, completely unexpected. Ross Montgomery lost out to Stephen Miles from Luxembourg, and Martin Phillips lost out to a Frenchman.
What was his name?
Can you help me with that one?
It was Thibaut Tricol.
Exactly. I think the biggest mention has to go to the gentleman from Malta. Again, I struggle with the name.
I've written it out, Norbert Attar.
Thank you. Beat Scott Mitchell of England. Next round, proved it was no fluke. On the stage, on the stream, beats Darius Labanauskas, Lithuania, makes it all the way through to the semi-finals where he ran out of steam against Jim Williams of Wales.
Yeah, but it's the first medal ever for Malta, which is a great achievement.
Oh, it's fantastic. And he has been a joy to watch today. He has been the talking point of day 2. Everybody talking about this brilliant Maltese player.
Yeah, we've been involved in the last couple of cups, and there have been new countries getting medals, haven't there, in the last couple of cups?
Yeah, we had a pair in the Europe Cup in Romania from Greece. Got a bronze medal. We saw it before that, Europe Cup in Turkey with the Lithuanians. They burst on the scene. We now know Darius Labanauskas well, but back then we didn't. And it's not a shock as much as it used to be anymore. Right. There is a regular face in the final for the Netherlands. Richard Winstra has made it through to face Jim Williams, so we're looking forward to that one on Saturday.
We certainly do. Every day, well, we've done it yesterday, we're going to do it again. A story not about the darts, but a bit about the circumstances surrounding this tournament, and we've got our expert Nick on that. Nick, what's your story for today?
Okay. Well, I just want to give a mention to the markers. So obviously the tournament won't run without them. There are 40 of them, and there's one particular guy that I'd love to give a mention to. That's Brian Langeveld. I think I've pronounced that correctly. He has marked 5 games. He has marked a 9-8, another 9-8. I've written it down. Another 4-3, then a 4-3, and then his final game was 9-6. And that final game took 100 minutes. So if you think of that, he was stood marking a
100.
board. Indeed, 100 minutes. Indeed so. And even the Welsh team manager has given him a compliment. And when it comes from Wales, that's something to behold.
Yeah, all the markers have been absolutely fabulous, haven't they? We've getting compliments all over the place for them.
Yeah, just as we came in, we're ready to make this clip, and the Welsh team manager, who's been involved at WDF Cups, Malcolm Hawkins, since I think it began, gave the markers 11 out of 10, and that's a big, big compliment.
That's the action for today. Of course, tomorrow we're back with the WDF Cup here from Egmond aan Zee. You can follow it via the stream on Winmau TV. And tomorrow we have the ladies singles, the men's pairs, and the men's team event. So for now, good night. See you back tomorrow.